10 huge Emmerdale spoilers for next week. March 3rd to 7th, 2025. Hey Emmerdale fans, buckle up because next week is going to be explosive. Secrets unravel, goodbyes get emotional, and shocking twists will leave you speechless. From heartbreaking farewells to jaw-dropping revelations, the village is about to be shaken to its core. Who's leaving? Who's hiding the biggest secret? And how will it all end? Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a single Emmerdale update. Now, let's get into 10 huge moments you won't want to miss. First, April reunites with Dylan. Marlon's got that classic parent dilemma. He's trying to do the right thing, but it's only pushing April further away. Late at night, he's restless, still stewing over whether she's really okay. But when he tries to check in, it just backfires. April's fuming that he doesn't trust her, and the more he worries, the more frustrated she gets. Feeling misunderstood and desperate for space, she slips away again, heading straight back to the abandoned squat where she knows Dylan will be. But if Marlon knew where she was, his worry would go through the roof. So what happens when he finally finds out? 2. Tensions rise between April and Marlon. Marlon storms in, convinced he's caught April in some kind of disaster, but he's completely misread the situation. The tension's through the roof. April's fuming, feeling like he has no clue what she's actually been through. It's a proper clash, raw and emotional, but just when it seems like there's no way back, something shifts. April, still angry, lets her guard down just enough for Marlon to see past the frustration. And for the first time in a while, there's a bit of hope. He realizes maybe what she needs isn't constant worrying, but a bit of trust and space. Third, April wants Dylan to stay Marlon's caught completely off guard when Dylan suddenly turns up in the village. This is the last thing he expected. Before he can even process it, April's already jumping to Dylan's defense, making it crystal clear that she invited him. She's determined to have him around, but Marlon's not having it that easily. What starts as a tense conversation quickly turns into a full-blown standoff, with both refusing to back down. April's set on making Dylan feel welcome, but Marlon's got serious doubts. So now they're at a crossroads, trying to figure out if Dylan's presence is really what's best for everyone. 4. Jacob buries his pain. Struggling with his mum's death and pushing himself too hard at work, Jacob ends up having a panic attack at the hospital. Later, he starts drinking with his mate Rich at the Hyde, but it doesn't go unnoticed. Laurel and Belle can see something's not right. As things get more out of hand, even Rich starts to worry, but Jacob keeps his real feelings buried, not letting on just how much he's struggling. 5. Sarah takes a pregnancy test. Sarah tries to talk to Jacob, but he brushes her off, leaving her feeling even worse. Later, she nervously looks at the unopened pregnancy test in her bag, not quite ready to face the truth. As Leyla's funeral gets underway, she finally finds the courage to check the result, and the reality hits hard. Feeling emotional, she turns up during the eulogy, unsure of what to do next. When she tries to speak to Jacob again at the wake, he pushes her away without a second thought, completely unaware that she's dealing with something huge of her own. She's pregnant. 6. Jacob struggles at the funeral. The villagers come together, dressed up to honour Leyla on her heartbreaking day. Jacob's asked Liam to do the eulogy, but when he realises his mum actually wrote it for him, the emotions hit him hard. Later on, in the Woolpack, Laurel, Manpreet and Nicola share memories of Leyla, reminding Jacob just how proud she was of him. 7. Flashbacks haunt Leyla's funeral. In the fallout from the limo crash, buried truths start creeping to the surface. Flashbacks paint a picture of something Mary can't shake, a moment from that night that's been weighing on her ever since. As she steps in to support Vanessa, it's clear there's more on her mind than she's letting on. Meanwhile, Tracy is struggling too. Memories of that night won't leave her alone, and the more she replays them, the harder it gets to move on. Whatever happened, it's not staying in the past for long. Over at Leyla's funeral, emotions are already running high, but things take an unexpected turn when Liam accidentally grabs Manpreet's phone. It's a small mistake, but it's enough to send Manpreet into full panic mode. She's rattled, and it doesn't go unnoticed, especially by Chaz, whose suspicions kick in straight away. Something's off, and Chaz can sense it. The question is, what exactly is Manpreet so desperate to keep hidden? 8. Dawn's secret is out. Joe's carefully built web of secrets is starting to unravel, and there's no hiding from the fallout now. With the walls closing in, he breaks the news to Dawn that he's leaving, but it's not just any old exit. He makes it clear that Kim is the reason he's got no choice but to go. There's something about the way he says it that leaves Dawn uneasy, like there's more to the story than he's letting on. But before she can even process that bombshell, Dawn's hit with another wave of panic. Kim knows everything about her affair. That sickening realization sinks in fast, and suddenly, her biggest fear isn't just being exposed, it's the thought of Billy finding out before she gets the chance to tell him herself. She's desperate to get ahead of the truth, but with Kim involved, time is running out fast. Now, every second feels like a ticking time bomb. Dawn's scrambling, trying to figure out a way to control the damage before it's too late. But with Kim holding all the cards, the chances of keeping this under wraps are slipping away. One wrong move, and everything she's tried to protect could come crashing down. 9. Cain and Moira split. Cain is completely floored when Moira tells him to leave, making it clear their marriage is over for good. No more second chances, no way to fix what's been broken, just the cold, hard reality that he's lost everything. It's a moment that hits him like a ton of bricks, but the truth is, he's got no one to blame but himself. For all the fights they've had and all the hurdles they've faced, this time, there's no coming back. As the weight of his betrayal really sinks in, both Cain and Moira are left reeling. They've been through so much together, and now, just like that, it's over. The house that was once their home suddenly feels empty, filled with memories that cut deeper than ever. No shouting, no dramatic clashes, just the quiet, painful acceptance that the life they built is falling apart. Even with all the heartbreak, there's no denying the love that once held them together, which only makes the pain worse. In the middle of all this chaos, Moira finally gets some good news about her health, something that should be a relief, but right now, it feels overshadowed by everything else. Because no matter how strong she is, nothing makes breaking their kids' hearts any easier. Sitting them down to explain that their family will never be the same again, that's a conversation no parent wants to have. And as the moment creeps closer, Cain and Moira both know this is going to be one of the hardest things they've ever had to do. 10. Matty struggles at Amy's funeral. Matty's world shatters as the day he's been dreading finally arrives, saying goodbye to Amy at her woodland funeral. The pain is unbearable, and while the grief alone is enough to break him, there's something else eating away at him. Cain's betrayal still burns deep, and no matter how much he tries to focus on Amy, that anger is bubbling under the surface. As mourners gather to pay their respects, Matty can barely keep it together, every moment feeling like a cruel reminder of what he's lost. Victoria, desperate to pull him back from the edge, gently reminds him that today is about Amy, not his anger. It's the push he needs to take a breath and focus on what really matters. When he steps up to deliver his eulogy, the raw emotion in his words leaves everyone speechless. Every memory, every promise, every bit of love he had for Amy spills out, breaking the hearts of everyone listening. Meanwhile, Cain stands on the sidelines, keeping an eye on Kyle. But there's no mistaking the guilt written all over his face. But grief and rage don't mix well, and for Matty, the pressure is too much. As the weight of the day crushes him, he finds himself spiraling, emotions spilling over in ways he can't control. His heartbreak turns to fury, and before long, all that pain is directed straight at Cain. Years of resentment, betrayal, and the unbearable loss of Amy fuel every word as he finally lets his stepdad have it, no longer willing to hold back. Cain, for once, is speechless, standing there as Matty lays everything bare. But no matter how much Matty lashes out, it doesn't change the one thing he wishes he could. Amy's gone, and nothing will ever bring her back. And as the reality of that truly sinks in, he's left wondering if the anger he's holding on to will ever be enough to fill the hole she's left behind. And that's just a taste of what's coming up in Emmerdale next week. Drama, heartbreak, and shocking twists. This village never slows down. What are your thoughts? Which storyline has you on the edge of your seat? Drop your predictions in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for all the latest Emmerdale updates. And make sure to turn on notifications so you never miss a spoiler. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time for more juicy Emmerdale drama.